Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and this new Sugo-Fest is very interesting. The origin of the new batches is really gone down. This Sugo-Fest is called the OPTC Girl Sugo-Fest. What is even... I don't get it. I personally... What? Why? They couldn't come up with anything else besides OPTC Girls. These are the most random legends I've seen in ages. I mean, Black Maria and Alti, that is the weirdest dual legend combo I've seen in ages. These characters I don't think have ever interacted, yet they are a dual unit. I just hope that Bandai isn't running out of ideas, but it's definitely made apparent from this batch that they definitely are, because yikes, they really need to think of some new characters. I mean, the units themselves are pretty decent actually. They very solid legends, which I will go through in a second. But this Sugo-Fest is debuting the 24th of June 1900 PST, so mark that calendars. It is a few days away. I'm not sure what this batch is for. I'm sure it's for Pirate King Adventures, but I'm not too sure. Either way, let's get straight into the batch themselves. Two new legends, and we have two new rare recruits, being what's her name, Shinobu, as well as Boa Hancock. So let's first start off with the legends. I haven't actually seen what the recruits do, so I'll have my first reactions as well for them. But Black Maria and Alti, they have a very good special. In terms of Rumble abilities, I'm pretty sure the... who's the other legend? Oh yeah, Koala and Robin, I'm pretty sure they are a bit better in Rumble. But let's go through their regular abilities first. So Black Maria and Alti, what their captain ability is going to do: Merciless Onslaught. Boost Cerebral and Driven characters' attack by 5.25x, their HP by 1.3, and it's going to boost their chance of landing on decks and int orbs, and makes those decks and int orbs count as matching. They're then going to say they're going to heal 4000 HP at the end of every turn. That stacks, remember, if you're running double Alti and Black Maria, that's 8000 HP at the end of every turn. They're also going to reduce damage taken by 20%, and then boost the damage dealt to enemies with damage taken increased, delay, poison, venom, progressive poison, defense down, or paralysis status by 1.1x. So that is a inbuilt conditional attack boost into their captain ability. The only one I'm not seeing there is burn or ignite, whatever you want to call it. It's not one of them, so kind of sucks. I thought it'd be every single one of these status effects, but it's still pretty nice. And then it's gonna deal 800 times the single typeless damage to the enemy based on how many perfects you hit. So 800 times is the max amount if you hit 6 perfects. That is about 2.4 million damage if you have 3000 attack on this Alti and Black Maria unit, and that this stack, obviously if you're running double, then it's about 4.8 million damage if you hit all 6 of your perfects. So it's a pretty nice amount of damage. Obviously normal attacks only does completely negate this. It's a very similar effect to the solo Super Tandem legend Who's Who. I'm pretty sure he has the exact same effect, single typeless damage. It's pretty decent, but it's just a nice way to get around resilience. As for the attack multipliers, it's pretty decent. It's about a 5.8x multiplier if you have both the base attack multiplier and then also the conditional attack multiplier stacked on top of each other. This unit is very tanky, but the main issue I'm seeing here is, one, they're a dual unit, so they're going to be quite significantly weaker in their singular forms. But also, they don't have any cooldown whatsoever in their kit, which is a glaring issue, and meaning they're probably not going to be used in most content. Unfortunately, there isn't GARP challenges or training forests anymore, so that kind of longer form content where tanky units shine like this are not really present anymore in the modern meta of One Piece Treasure Cruise. So unfortunately, I don't see this unit seeing a lot of play, just because they don't even have any like Super Tandem or Last Step or anything like that. They are a dual unit. But their special is really good. I don't see them being used as a captain, but their special is really good. So their special, Unrelenting Beatdown, maxing out at 13 turns after Lumbreak expansion. It's going to deal 100 times this character's attack in typeless damage to one enemy. It's going to boost your Cerebral and Driven character's attack by 2.5x for a turn. and then also boost your damage dealt to delayed enemies by 2.25x for 1 turn. So upon first read, I was thinking, oh no, another delay conditional attack boost Black Maria unit, and I was thinking, oh no, it's gonna be so hard to proc this. But then it states that if there are delayed enemies when the special is launched, it's an extended duration of delay by 1 turn. If your captain is a cerebral or driven class, delays all enemies by 1 turn, ignoring immunity to delay or status effects. So it does go through immunity. So this is another unit in the game that can go through full immunity and also delay immunity. So this is a very good character for an attack boost and also a conditional attack boost. And if can't speak. And then if your enemies don't have an immunity, then it's a 2-turn delay instead. So overall, yeah, also they go into their dual form. So overall, this unit has a very strong special. There's no utility here, which is a bit of an issue, but they do have some utility in their swap effect, which we will talk about in a second. Overall, 13 turns is a respectable amount for how much they do offensively. If they didn't go through immunity, this unit would be hot garbage. But since they do, this unit I can definitely see being used in a lot of content for their conditional attack boost. Then for the crewmate abilities, they have pretty nice crewmate abilities. One of them allows you to evade 1 turn of paralysis for the entire crew. The other one heals 800 HP at the end of the turn for your entire crew. Overall, pretty nice crewmate abilities. And then their switch effect, which only takes 4 swaps to get into their super swap form, which is very nice. So their regular swap, this is what they do. They're going to reduce damage reduction by 1 turn and give you a 0.5 chain boost that can be overwritten. So that's very nice. I'm glad it can be overwritten. And then it's also going to change their own orb into matching. This doesn't go through block. And then also heal 5% of the crew's maximum HP. And then also completely remove this character's paralysis. Honestly, you could remove that last bit, the last half of the swap effect, and it really wouldn't make a difference. I mean, who really cares about the paralysis on the character themselves being removed? Whenever you're removing paralysis, it has to be for the entire crew. I just don't see the point of these units having singular utility in their swap effects, because whenever you have a debuff, you need to remove it on the entire crew, not just the character themselves. But either way, 1 turn of damage reduction and also a nice chain boost is always nice to have. I'm pretty sure this is the first time a unit is reducing enemy defensive effects in their swap effect, but I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure it is the first time this is going to be an available effect. For the super swap, which as I said before, it takes only 4 swaps, which is very nice. It's going to reduce damage reduction by 3 turns instead. And also the chain boost has been increased from 0.5 to 1.2, which is very good. And then the rest of the effects have been slightly altered. The 5% healing goes up to 7%. Okay. And then she's now also going to change adjacent orbs into matching, once again not going through block. And then the paralysis removal is the exact same. So overall, a pretty decent swap effect. I mean, 5 turns would have been a bit too broken, I guess, but 3 turns reduction of damage reduction is always nice. That chain boost is really good as well. You can't expect so much from a unit only needing 4 swaps to get to their super swap. Either way, it's a very strong unit. In terms of the special, the captain ability is a bit lackluster, and then the super swap is just kind of there. It's nothing too crazy, but it's very nice to have. As for the support, they don't have a support because they are a dual unit. And then the potential abilities, she does have special limit uses, and then also fear and a recovery bind. So pretty decent potential abilities. No super tandem or last step, as I said at the beginning. Their max attack is 3065, and then for their rumble abilities, this unit has pretty decent cerebral buffs for PvP. Same goes for the Koala and Robin, which we will discuss in a bit. So her passive ability is going to state that cerebral class teammates will get an attack up, HP up, and speed up, all of level 5. That's pretty nice. There's no defense up there, unfortunately, but still nice having some offense, defense, and also speed buffs. Just a pretty overall decent passive ability on your Rumble cerebral teams. As for the special, which maxes out at a CT of 27, so not too high, the Koala and Robin, they have quite a high CT for what they do. I definitely think that Black Maria is a bit better. I think I got them mixed up at the start. I said that Koala and Robin are a bit better, but no, I think Black Maria is a bit better in both the Rumble ability and also their special, because they have a low CT but they do so much. So they're going to target enemies within large range horizontally for defense down level 6 for 20 seconds, speed down level 6 for 20 seconds, and then also he's going to target attack style enemies for 100% chance of half attack and speed for 25 seconds. After that, they're going to deal 2.8x times their attack to the enemies in that large horizontal range. So it doesn't go through defense, but that's fine. They deal so much. I think this is the first Rumble character to actually target a unit based on their style. So they're only going to target your attack style units, and they do a lot of debuffing and also deal some damage. So it's not a terrible unit. They deal a defense down to the enemy, which is always nice. Defense downing the enemy is very important and very significant, and also bringing their speed down is always nice. Halving the attack and speed, honestly, I don't know why they didn't just straight up do half stats across the board, but it's fine, I guess. And 2.8x is a decent amount of attack. Obviously, it doesn't go through defense up, but it's still pretty nice. And that's going to be it for Black Maria and Ulti. They seem pretty usable in Rumble, nothing game breaking, but also a pretty decent character. The captain ability is whatever. The super swap and regular swap are decent, but nothing too crazy. And this special is going to be definitely used in future content because of their ability to evade immunity to delay and other status effects. So overall, a very nice unit. I'm pretty happy with this character. I do think they're going to be used a teeny bit more than Robin and Koala, just because of the fact that they have a conditional through immunity. As for Koala and Robin, so this character is a Dex, Quick, Cerebral, and Free Spirit character. As for the potentials, they have this, I forgot what it's even called, but it's pretty irrelevant debuff. They have Fear, same as the Black Maria and Ulti. As for their captain, they now actually have cooldown, just like Ulti and Black Maria needed. So now they have 1 turn of cooldown, and they're also going to boost Int and Dex, as well as Cerebral characters attack by 5.75x when slots match, 5x otherwise. The HP bar 1.3, and then they're going to make 3 of the 7 natural orbs count as beneficial, being Int, Dex, and Recovery. I'm glad they make Recovery matching instead of Tandem, because a lot of ships nowadays make Tandem count as matching, but not many actually make Recovery count as matching. So I'm glad that they have that ability to make Recovery orbs count as matching. They're also going to resist 10 turns of Special Rewind, which is really nice to have. A combination of a good attack multiplier, cooldown, and also very nice utility means that this character is going to be used as a captain, even though they are a dual unit. Then, very similarly to V2 Katakuri, they're going to heal 50% of the damage received during that battle when moving to the next battle. So, nice healing, I guess. That's not really the main use for this character though, mainly for the very good attack multipliers. They boost quite a wide variety of units, they have very good utility and also cooldown, so they can be used in a speed farming sense. Very nice captain ability. I'm a lot happier with this one. She's definitely making up for Ulti and Black Maria's lackluster captain. Very good. I definitely see myself using this character as a captain if I do pull her. As for the special, once again maxing out at 13 turns after expansion, 14 otherwise. It's going to reduce the duration of all enemy barriers by 3 turns. Barrier reducers are so rare in this game, so I'm pretty happy that we have another one. 3 turns is very significant. There's not many units in the game that reduce it by that much. They're also going to reduce single typeless damage to an enemy. Unfortunately, I really wish that it was to all enemies. This character would be so good if they wave cleared to all enemies, and I'll explain why in a second. Then they're going to reduce their relevant type and classes by 2 turns of cooldown, so getting 2 turns of cooldown to all their units is so good. And then also going to boost their slot effects by 2.5x for 3 turns. So it can carry over multiple stages, which is why it would have been so good if their damage was to all enemies, meaning you could use this character on stage 2 of a treasure map quest, and then you could carry over a orb boost to the final stage. Unfortunately, it's only single type, so unfortunately you can't use it in that sense. And then they're going to become their dual unit for 3 turns, very stock standard. And then if a crew has a type effect boost when the special is launched, so if they already have a color affinity when you use the special, Then after one turn, so you're going to get a clock buff, which is going to allow you to get a 2.75x color affinity after one turn. So this unit is so good. Once again, if this character did wave flare to all enemies, this would be so good in treasure map, because you could get an orb boost and a color affinity for the final stage. This unit is really good. Unfortunately, having only barriers as their utility is quite weak, but it's still something, and it's a very unique buff of the enemy that you need to get around. So I'll still take it. They have very good damage, they give cooldown, and they also reduce barriers. Overall, a very good special. I'd say it's on par with Ulti and Black Maria, but I'd still say that Black Maria and Ulti have a bit of an edge because of how unique their damage boosting effects are. As for the crewmate abilities, they resist special rewind, which obviously goes well with their special and their captain effect. They also have the healing crewmate ability that Ulti and Black Maria had. And as for the super swap effect, it's basically the same thing as Black Maria and Ulti. Instead of damage reduction, they are now reducing the threshold, and instead of a chain boost, they are giving a color affinity boost instead. So you can see how well this goes with their special, because you use the color affinity from the super swap, and then you can get a color affinity in the following stage as well. So I'm glad that their special and super swap mesh very well together. Once again, in the regular swap, the color affinity can be overwritten, and then in the super swap, it's a lot higher multiplier, and you can't override it. Once again, healing, and then also they're going to reduce their own despair. Now that's a lot more useful than reducing their own paralysis, because when you're using them as a captain, you can just completely negate despair no matter how many turns it is. So that's a lot more useful than paralysis reduction. So I do think this character has a much better swap effect compared to Ulti and Black Maria. This is a very strong super swap as well as a regular swap that I definitely see getting play in content. Overall, I'd say in the regular content, Robin and Koala take the cake. Overall, the captain, special, and super swap are all just so good. Black Maria and Ulti definitely will see a lot of play because of their ability to negate immunity, but they are both really good characters in general. As for their PvP abilities, once again surrounding Cerebral, they're going to buff attack up and defense up of level 6 for your Cerebral characters, and then debuff your free spirit enemies by defense down of level 5. That is a very strong passive ability. Unfortunately, if you aren't facing free spirit, it's really not going to be nearly as good, but being able to buff our own defense and debuff the enemy's defense significantly is so good. As for the special, maxing out at 33, so it's quite high CT, and they're going to target 2 enemies for 3 times this character's attack and damage 3 times. So they're going to target 2 enemies and hit in 3 sets of 2. So it's a bit hard to explain, but either way, it's a lot of damage. And then they're also going to target free spirit class enemies for 75% chance of paralysis. Unfortunately, paralysis isn't the best debuff to inflict the enemy with. It's really not too significant. It would have been much better if they gave half stats or special blind or something like that. Paralysis isn't that great, so really at the end of the day, this unit is really just a damage dealing unit in their special. So quite lackluster in terms of the Power Rumble special, and you really only see this character's full potential against free spirit. If you aren't, I don't think it's worth running this character. But overall, not too bad. I do think Black Maria and Ulti have better PvP abilities, whereas Robin and Koala have better abilities in regular play. Okay, for the 2 new recruits, we have Hancock as well as Shinobu. These 2 characters are very similar in how they are played out. Their kit is so identical, you'll see in a minute. The support ability, attaching to Luffy characters, this is Hancock by the way. She has 5000 healing at the start of battle 3. That's it. So honestly, nothing too crazy, but I do see in niche circumstances where you could use a support, where you might need a teeny bit of HP. And obviously attaching to Luffy, there's a ton of Luffy characters, so nothing too crazy, just whatever used in some circumstances, but overall not an amazing support. Her special, maxing out at 11 turns, is going to reduce despair by 6 turns. It's also going to heal. Oh wait, no. If your crew has healed 20,000 HP beyond the max before the special is launched, then it's going to reduce all enemies threshold by 6 turns, and also boost your chain multiplier growth rate for your cerebral and fighter characters. Even if you haven't healed beyond your maximum HP, you still get 5 turns of threshold reduction instead of 6, and then instead of a chain growth rate boost, you get a +1 chain multiplier boost. So honestly, it's a decent special. The chain is nice, I guess. It's not a terrible boost, but overall it's not significantly boosting your damage. And for the utility, 6 turns is amazing for Despair and Threshold, but overall it's just whatever. I mean, I don't think the special will be used a lot, especially considering the Threshold is most likely going to be only 5 turns, because not many units allow you to heal beyond your max HP. So overall, her kit is just decent, it's nothing too bad. She has criminal abilities to heal HP at the end of the turn, similarly to the Legends. And then she's also going to make your cerebral and fighter characters' strength orbs count as matching, so that's always nice to have. That's going to be it for her kit. As for Shinobu, she's very similar. She has the exact same support effect, but instead she's now going to attach to Kinemon and Odin units. In terms of her special, instead of reducing Despair by 6 turns, she's going to reduce Attack Down by 6 turns. So I definitely think that's better than having Despair reduction. Attack Down is a lot harder to reduce in content. And then she's once again going to have the condition of, if you have healed 20,000 over the max HP before the special is launched, she's going to reduce all enemies' damage reduction by 6 turns. So not Threshold this time, she's now reducing damage reduction. So you can see how similar these units are. They just give different boosts, and they you reduce different debuffs. And then she's also going to boost your cerebral and shooter character's base attack by 1000 for 2 turns. And if you haven't met the condition, it's 5 turns of damage reduction, and then the base attack boost is a bit weaker, being +800 for 1 turn instead. Overall, I think Shinobu is a bit better. Base attack boost is a bit better than a chain boost, and then also the utility of reducing attack down is better than Despair. And then for threshold and damage reduction, they're both kind of the same. That can be interchangeable, but either way, I think Shinobu's utility and kit overall is a bit better, but both of them are very similar in how they work. Overall, not a terrible batch. The recruits are kind of lackluster, nothing too amazing, but still get the job done with 6-turn utility. The Legends are also very solid, but also once again not game changing, but you can't really expect that from the OPTC girls Sugo-Fest. But either way, the Sugo-Fest structure is pretty stock standard. There's nothing amazing here. Don't pull really have the Legends available, so we can't see which Legends are available on each part, so I can't advise you based on that. Overall, skip the Sugo-Fest because there is a very big Sugo-Fest coming up based on a very big unit that's going to be coming out in the anime. So in a few months, or just 1 month, we will be getting a very important character that will likely be the best unit in the game. So on One Piece Day, that Sugo-Fest will debut, so make sure you see all of your gems for that. Skip this nonsense, and that's going to be it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys within the next video.